Hey everybody.
Hi everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
me, Banshee, and of course, Sunny the cat.
He was just fascinated with watching the little clips that roll through.
Those cat faces, he was watching them and he's purring here. He was purring and trying to paw at them. It was so cute.
Are you sure you don't have sound? Because we're showing we're registering.
Oh.
Does anyone else not hear us? I think it might just be you, Violet.
Can everybody hear us?
Well, we'll have to type that in.
Okay, yeah. I can hear, says Lena. I can hear, says Kara.
Oh, gee, Violet.
Uh-oh, Violet. Oh, no.
Well, we'll let Violet take care of that.
And we'll chat for a minute, just for a minute or two, before we do our Oracle for the Collective. But Sunny here, he's just been in such a good mood, although, as you can see, he's taking up all my table space again. Anyway, welcome to the show. Starting next week, we will also be offering the option of some Halloween readings I created last year for the dark time of year, 3-card readings. Not going to do it today, but next week I'll start using those. Maybe Thursday, maybe Sunday. And you could have one of those readings in place of a regular 3-card. We'll also be having some offers for readings on our website, but stay tuned for that. That may take a few more days before I'm ready to do that. But there will be some special pricing for readings. All right. Hi, Pragati. Did I miss anybody else, Mr. O? I don't think so.
I don't know.
All right. Got it. All right. So I'm going to use the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco for our card for the collective. Because, hey, it's Halloween season.
And our operating software handed me an upgrade this morning, so I did install it. It mostly operates the same way, but in case anything goes wrong, it wasn't my fault.
Shuffle and cut. Uh-oh. Why he does this on the day of this? Oh, because it offered you it today.
You don't know anything.
I want my book. I want my book.
No, there's no bugs in it. It's just that the dashboard look is slightly different. It's very slightly different. So it actually looks more like Streamlabs OBS dashboard.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm just
I understand.
No, you don't.
I do.
You never do.
Sonny is giving you the tail flap. He says, stop that. Well, look at that. Speaking of the season, I remember having that last year.
Trick or treat.
I'm all in on trick or treat. Stalking and stomping, eyes shining and begging baskets, faces and bodies that are no longer ours, laughing skeletons in candy caskets. Yes, it's such a fun card, speaking of the season. And should you receive this card today, I mean, it's such a, everybody is used to this concept of trick-or-treating. Should you receive the trick-or-treat card in your divination, it may well be a time to examine the role of play and mischief in your own life. You don't have to be a child to let go and have some playtime, and you can extend the fun to others. Sometimes we are afraid to make mistakes, and play is one way to alleviate the pressure that we sometimes place on ourselves to get everything perfect every time. Alternatively, it is worth knowing that there is a balance between manipulation and mischief. The former is not pleasant, and the other has, at its core, a sense of irreverent fun. Don't be afraid to let the old hair down and, have some fun. I've always said that. What is life? Life is not meant to be just total drudge. We need to take breaks and enjoy ourselves.
In that respect, it kind of reminds me of another kind of aspect or a partial aspect of the Fool card in Tarot.
Hi, Sierra. We'll get you on
Sierra.
the list. Welcome. All right. That's our card for the collective today. So we just wanted to highlight this Halloween Oracle. I do like using it in the season. All right. Oh, there it is. Around Sunny. Which is why I cannot see it. All right, Mr. O, are you ready to go? Is there any
I am
other
ready to go.
announcements? Anything else pending?
No, but this Friday will mark the first. I'm taking over just for October Banshee's
Far Out There Fridays Oracle cards on social media.
And I'm going to have the Frightening Fridays. Well, some version of that. Starting off this week with a reading from the Horror Tarot. So it's kind of like what Banshee does, only I'm doing it. And it's going to be ooky Halloween fun.
It'll be mostly horrible tarot decks.
Yes, I have a Cthulhu tarot deck. I have a Dark Grimoire. I'm going to try to highlight tarot decks that have horror themes.
Are
and
you
I have a
using
number
that
of those.
Major Arcana one by chance?
Oh, the Terror Tarot.
Tarot.
The Ghoulish
Tarot.
Garbs Terror Tarot. Yes, that's slated to be appeared.
Right.
I will possibly even use the new to me, Vlad Dracula Tarot. I'd like to do an unboxing of it first, so I should be able to concentrate on that in the next week or so.
Well, I'm giving up my Fridays for you, so let me just say it better be terrifying.
Ooh, that's spooky.
All right, let's go. Okay, so we've got, I think it was, let's look at Violet's list. V. Yes, V is first. I think we're in sync again, Violet. We'll see. But okay, V is first. So go ahead and take your question, V. Oh, general reading for October.
Okay.
We see it. All right.
Should I use a deck?
Well, I was going to, go ahead.
Okay, well, if you have one handier.
Right, they're always at hand.
I watch Svengoolie once in a while when she lets me, but it's on opposite
Ghost
shows, so I usually have to not.
Well, when it's rerun season, he can watch it. He can.
I like Svengoolie. In Detroit, in the mid-'60s till maybe somewhere in the '80s, we had this guy called Sir Graves Ghastly. And he was an older guy already, and he was so much fun. And he made the '60s fun. He would show all the same old horror movies that Svengoolie shows.
Pretty much.
He would have Halloween night specials or Halloween weekend specials. There you go. Oh. Sorry, V. It's her deck.
We got our wires crossed. Well, you had said, and then I said it's always at hand, and I pulled it out. I thought you were just getting that ready for next time.
I was talking too much to Kara, and I didn't pay attention to you.
See, when you talk horror and stuff, he's all in. He's
I'm
all
in.
absorbed.
I have a Scorpio. How can I not? All right,
It's
let me
true.
focus for
Oh,
B here.
It's true. I know what I was getting.
The general reading.
Proceed, Mr. O.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we start with the Six of Pentacles upright. We also have the Page of Wands upright. This is the Leaf Tarot, by the way. And also, or the Leaves Tarot, Tarot Leaves, something like that. The Six of Swords is upright. Well,
So there are 2 sixes.
yeah, there are 2 sixes, which I like to see. That's synchronicity. But really, this is really putting you in a good place, I think. The Six of Pentacles is all about give and take and fairness in a way, but equity, sort of like everything, there's harmonious give and take between people. You may feel even in your life that there's this balance of energies, or there will be in October, where, everything like what you put out is what you get back. It all seems like, things are in balance. And finally, I just want to say that all of this may be leading you, it looks like by the end of the month, I really feel this might be coming towards the end of the month. It's moving you to a much better place, more tranquil, more calm, more relaxed, more serene.
Well, I think pages of wands, especially, but all the pages in a way are messages, messengers, bringing you news or bringing a vibration to you. And so I think it's bringing that Six of Pentacles vibration to you, saying that maybe there's this coming feeling here in October, the general feeling that you're going to be in a position where not only can you benefit from others, generosity of talent, skills, help in certain ways, money, but also you might be of benefit to others. And I think that this says, really, maybe what the message says is that you're moving, maybe physically, but maybe just into that kind of circumstance. So it could be that maybe you're moving into a job or a vocation where you're able to do things like that to help people. So I could think of a number of professions like that, modern ones like life coaches, or maybe social workers, or people who are assistants or paralegal assistants or things like that. So I feel that in October, a circumstance change, a message change, bringing you that sense of avocational, being helpful to people.
Yeah, I've got them on the list, Violet. Thank you.
Oh, hello there, Dispel Moonchild. Hi.
Dispel is here. Hi, Dispel. Good to see you.
Seek for sure. Hi.
I might have glossed over that page of wands here a little bit. I kind of feel like that could indicate too that it could be in business. It could be just a new beginning of some sort where everything seems much more balanced and fair. It could apply to your interpersonal relationships with others too. But whatever the case may be, I feel like all of this is moving you to a much better place. The Six of Swords is about that, and I just almost sense kind of a progression here, maybe, as things become more balanced for you, or stresses seem to ease. And Mercury's going direct now, so and Pluto, I guess 2 planets this week are going direct, so I can't help but think as the month goes on that things are going to start feeling a little bit less crazy, hopefully, and it may lead to some new beginning in your life, some fresh start. Like Mr. O said, if you're not planning any kind of major move in job, career, or physically, to another residence, this just indicates a state of mind, a state of being, that everything seems more harmonious.
Hi, Kit.
Kit, hey, good to see you. Hey, Kit, wonderful. Kit was at our event a week ago.
Yes, a recent new acquaintance. Very nice.
Yes, and won a reading from us with our spinning wheel, which, by the way, later this month, the spinning wheel will make a reappearance on the show. Maybe some prizes will be involved, just saying. All right, let's do the Lenormand. It's mine, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm using the Shadowland one today. Mr. O is using the Santa Muerte.
And I also see Rakesh has joined us.
Rakesh, okay. All right, good to see
so
you.
good to see you too. Thank you.
All right. Let's see what the Lenormand has to add to this. V. Aha. All right. Oh, okay.
Okay, so our first Lenormand card is the Clouds. And then it's followed by the Tree.
Right, and it looks as though the light side of the clouds are facing
I need a better stand.
are facing the tree. Yeah, that's not gonna work for the big cards, I guess.
Let me grab one.
All right, well, let me see what I can do with that. Basically, V, the tree indicates that now, well, with the clouds, the light clouds facing it, I almost feel like after a state of maybe some confusion, disorientation, or maybe some gloomy times, that there's going to be a cycle of growth starting for you. I think that, or maybe whatever this new opportunity is going to just bring a period of more clarity, more just dispelling any kind of dark gloom that you've had. You feel like now maybe things are going to start picking up for you. I don't know. It sounds like October is shaping up to be a pretty good month. I can't complain. Do you have anything to add on that?
Well, I'm adding for the first time actually.
Right.
But so do we know what the dark side of the clouds are? Is it probably
It's this
presumed to be
side.
the left? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So clouds, of course, represent possible issues or things to consider, things that maybe are what's the word I'm looking for? Not obstacles like the way the mountain is.
No, it's not like that. It's really more mental states. It's
Okay.
about depression, confusion, not seeing things clearly, for whatever reasons, depending on what card is around
So
it.
with the tree influencing it seems to be saying that if there are these issues going on, or if you've been having doubts about where October was going or where other things are going, this is going to be helpful. This is going to say you're going to find growth somehow. So it could be that if these things represent challenges that you weren't expecting, maybe they also represent things that will help grow you in a way too.
Yeah. I hope it turns out that way. Not bad at all. Good luck with that. Right.
All right. Good luck, V.
Buddy B, you are next, I believe. Yes.
General reading. So I'm going to use the Ancestral Path Tarot. And thank you, Kid. I think you're referring to what we did. That's very nice. Thank you, V. I'm glad you liked it.
Is Dispel getting a reading or not? Did they say they were just checking in?
I don't know, but they're down the list. So
Oh, don't have to do a reading. Got it. Okay. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad they came in to say hi.
thanks for saying
Sorry,
hi,
we're so
Dispel.
busy.
It looks busy, but you know what? We tend to pick up speed and move through it.
Do we?
Yeah, honest.
I haven't picked up my cards yet. Uh-oh.
It's what it is.
It is what it is. Well said, Mr. O. Well said.
So just to remind people, of course, that if it is too busy and you duck out, you can always come back Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and watch us too. Who knows? Maybe Sunny will be there also. Sunny seems to always be there.
Oh my gosh. I got table space. And I'm going to use it. Even if it's just for one shuffle. Here.
Cut.
All
All right, so Buddy Blue wants a general reading too.
Got it.
And we have the Queen of Sacred Circles. That's the Queen of Pentacles.
You are welcome, V.
You're welcome. And then the Hierophant reversed. And then finally, the reversed Five of Cups.
Oh. Well, I have to say, buddy, this sounds like a not bad month for you either. The Queen of Pentacles indicates that, hey, you know, if money doesn't come in, maybe just things are going to ease for you a little bit. You know, it's possible you could find work, or you'll be working on something. You know, there's something important to you. Maybe something you feel could bring money. Like, for example, if you're thinking of a hobby or craft or something out of the ordinary. Because the Hierophant reversed is all about thinking differently and being different and trying to come up with alternative ways of doing things and thinking. And it might tie into also, it's kind of interesting here, this whole picture I'm seeing, because the Five of Cups is about opportunities possibly presenting themselves, or you beginning to realize that, you know, even though maybe you've lost some things along the way, you now know there are other opportunities out there for you to pursue.
Well, the cards flanking the Queen and the Five of Cups seem to represent creative abilities or intelligent abilities, and also buttressed by the fact that maybe there are opportunities that can be taken advantage of. And it all lies more in the realm of maybe out-of-the-box thinking. Banshee might have said that. Or somehow taking chances with being a little bit unconventional in a certain way.
Well, thanks for listening in, Angel. Good to see you here today.
Hi, Angel.
Yeah, so honestly, right, you know, if you combine that Queen of Pentacles energy, somebody who knows how to organize, somebody who knows how to get things done, somebody who has learned how to manage perhaps better their financial material affairs, with that Five of Cups, it indicates that maybe all that's needed is that spark, that idea, that out-of-the-box thinking that could make things really happen for you. You know, even if it's like just applying for jobs that you didn't think of, that you wouldn't have thought of before, but suddenly, you know, you might be interested in them. They're different for you. Go for it.
Yeah, something like that. So now I'm going to pull the Lenormand, and once again, this is the La Muerte.
Santa Muerte.
Lenormand. Okay, so. And the first one is El Anillo, I think that's how it's said, and that's the ring. And then El Oso, or Uso, and that's the bear.
So what this is saying here, buddy, to me is in October, commit yourself, because that's about commitment. Commit yourself to, you know, things that will empower you more, bring you self-empowerment, but also things that could possibly bring you some financial security. You know, we've got the Queen of Pentacles there, which in a way is like the mama bear I'm seeing here.
No, Sonny.
Mr. O?
Well, sometimes I see this card influencing that card, so I'm wondering really if the bear, it's a sign of empowerment, and it's especially like a she-bear in a way, so it's very much about women's or female empowerment. And I feel like it's saying empowering yourself makes you feel the strength of making that commitment, or makes you more likely to want to make this commitment to these things. And so I think these experiences, when they happen or as they happen, will provide you with resolve and strengthful feelings that give you the commitment to keep pursuing that.
Either way sounds good.
I know.
So that's what we have for you. It looks like, hey, October's looking up for some people here. This is good. Good luck with that. You know, I figure once Mercury goes direct, my world is going to be, and it is today. Today's the day.
Yes, today's the day.
Thank goodness. Now it just needs a week or so to balance out.
Okay, so Lena's next, then Mr. M? Okay.
All right.
You're welcome, buddy.
For a general for the next 3 months, okay?
All right, and so it's your deck
I'm
again.
going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot. I'm going to be shaking up my decks a lot. Mr. O's going to be busy retyping his screens
It's okay.
as I pull out different Halloweeny decks. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to retire the leaf one after today's show and move on to another Halloween deck for Thursday.
I know you do, Violet.
Hey, you're welcome, buddy. Good luck. Sounds like a good month to me. Not bad.
Was that 5 months?
3 months.
3 months, okay.
So really it's like to December maybe. Ah, we have the Two of Wands upright, Lena. We have the World reversed. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles upright. Kind of businessier project looking to me more than anything else. I mean, okay, so the first one is the Two of Wands. Whatever the case may be, you know, you've been maybe trying to plan something or map out a strategy, a way forward. You know that, you know, you've had some success. You're moving towards success, but there's still more to be done. There's loose ends, I feel like. Whatever you're going to be starting or developing is going to take a bit more work than maybe you had thought, but ultimately, it will pay off. It will pay off financially or with something that will grow. I mean, if I had to look this in another sense, Lena, it could be, you know, that I'm talking more about business or personal goals here. But if I had to look at this in a relationship, I would say that, you know, whatever you're hoping for or pursuing, you know, is going to take time, going to need a little bit more work. And it will grow, but the result is eventual growth and a new beginning possible.
Well, I look at it like it could be nearly the same if I read it from the other side. For some reason, I'm inclined to read it that way and say that, you know, something business-wise maybe is going to kick off, you know, a new project, a new idea of a business or your association with it. What is that? The World. But you may find that it's just not quite getting there. It is getting there, but it's not getting there either fast enough or in the way that you really thought would be more successful. And so this just kind of leaves you where you're at in the sense of really having to look at what success and growth you have had and figuring out how you can plan your way around that to continue the growth cycle. But I think either way kind of works.
Either way works perfectly, really.
Yeah.
It's nice. And I can see why you did that. And it's funny because when you think about it, the Two of Wands.
It could be that project there, you know, of working on that. I'm not really sure.
It's hard to say. Well, definitely it could be money involved.
Hi, Divine.
Hey, Divine, you. We'll get you on the list. All right.
first one?
Yep.
So the first card in the Lenormand is the Stork. And then that's followed by the Cross.
There's that darn cross.
Yeah.
And so, I would say here, Lena, that again, to me, there's going to be some work or some struggle, some stress, some worry, some grief involved with this new beginning or this new growth to take place. I think because the cross is with the stork, which is about new beginnings, it's kind of looking that way. So yes, it's been a painful process for you going through that alimony thing. So maybe it is talking about that, or else it's talking about something else. But there's some pain or sacrifice or worry, grief involved.
I wonder if there's a chance that maybe the way it works out will just more or less leave a bad taste in your mouth, as they say, that the feeling that you put in a lot of work and you're not going to get the result out of it you wanted. I just wonder if it's something like that because of the cross's placement there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's what we have for you. I mean, I still think there's some eventual success and growth, but it's not, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be easy. All right. Can you grab those? Thank you. Thank you. All right. I think we're on Mr. M.
And the question was back here. Hello. General reading, but would like to know about my finances in the next 5 weeks. That's where I got 5 from.
Okay.
What do the cards say? Okay. So I'm going to use my Ibis Tarot. And thanks for joining us, Mr. Maurice. Good to see you. Whoops.
You are worn out and needed to rest. Hey, always take care of you first. I have to say, we're finally, the season is starting to win the battle of the thermostat. We haven't turned it up yet. We haven't. And as a matter of fact, it's warmer outside today, so it's gotten up to 71 in here. Woohoo! But last night, we brought out the comforter blanket. So we're ready to surrender probably in this next week. I think by next Friday, nighttime temperatures are going to be in the 30s.
I almost feel like I should grab a different deck. I got it now, but it felt like a message, like saying, don't do this, don't do this.
Oh, thanks, Mr. M.
Thank you.
Yeah, 30s are 40s are too. I could take a day or two if it's in the low 40s, but once it starts getting consistent, and I think that's starting to happen this week at night too, the thermostat's going to get kicked up.
It won't be long.
Yeah.
Because this is the point where it really does start to get cold. Especially once we get to the middle of the month. There's absolutely no way.
Usually we try to make it to October 15th, but we never get there. I don't even remember. Maybe 1 year we might have gotten there.
Right.
40s. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're holding out. Well, we got a big place, so it gets cool in here.
Okay, so the first card is the Mistress of Cups.
Which is the Queen.
The Queen.
Okay, Queen of Cups.
Then, and it's upright. Then the Nine of Wands, Nine of Scepters. And then the reversed Six of Wands, Six of Scepters.
6 of Wands, okay.
Yes.
Mr. M, finances, 5 weeks. Well, which one is that again? What? That's the 9. The 9.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you ought to kind of, how how do I want to say this? I think you want to kind of prepare for not rough times, but just to make sure you have enough. In other words, you need to just make preparations that things may not totally pan out the way you had hoped financially. But I think overall, you're not going to be stressing over this. It's nothing to stress over. I think what it just may mean is there's not a lot of, there's nothing more coming in. And so therefore you kind of have to prepare for that. If you were hoping for some raise or windfall or something to happen, it may be delayed.
I find these cards to be very good for you, Mr. Maurice. I think the Nine of Wands says you definitely have to just stand your ground in certain respects, maybe financially.
I kind of like that.
But the Six of Wands reversed, to me, it could be saying that there are some challenges, but mostly it's something you can just apply other aspects of your personality too, is a feeling I'm getting. And I'm getting that because of that Queen of Cups there who's upright. I'm sort of feeling like this is saying that in certain respects with certain decisions or with certain elements, maybe it's more about just how you're getting along in your workplace or with your circumstances. You have to maybe apply a little bit of charm or gentleness to certain situations. So maybe that if that Six of Wands reverse sort of represents some challenges to your own authority in terms of how you run your finances, your life, you might just have to try to be more less abrasive about it and just getting certain points across maybe.
I see where you're going with that. I guess my problem is with the Six of Wands reversed with the Nine of Wands upright. I almost feel like here, because there's almost two different things. You're saying, or I guess it's with this and this, the Queen and that. Being, being gentle or being kind, but being prepared for anything or being ready to stand up for yourself.
Well, I guess what I feel is like there's going to be some challenges, so you need to be prepared for that. But some of this could be better dealt with by taking a less aggressive approach, perhaps.
Okay, right. So keep your emotions in check. But I like what he says here. Realize that, you may have to kind of stand up for yourself or be prepared for a battle if you're trying to achieve more financial, some financial thing, a raise or a promotion, etc. It might be a little bit of a battle. And but you'll be best served in this by making sure you keep your emotions in check. Yes. So I can see what he's saying too there, but I also feel that financially, just prepare for this not being necessarily a month where more will be coming in.
Well, between Wands and Cups, those are not really working towards financial things. They may be working more with the people elements surrounding those kind of things. So it just may be the kind of thing that you have to just try best practices, try being more persuasive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the Lenormand now, Mr. M.
See what the Lenormand can add to that.
See if it adds anything to that. Oh. And so the first one is the mountains, and then it's followed by the house, la casa.
There it is. So, Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think that maybe this is not really talking as much about finances for General Rena as you might have liked. It almost looks like more some of this maybe would be re-explained better in terms of your home life or your personal life. This could be saying that there are some difficulties that may be presenting at your home. Maybe this has to deal with your ability to be persuasive or facing up to a certain challenge. So off the top of my head, I keep thinking like, okay, is an adult child wanting to move back home because they find it hard or something like that? Is something challenging the status quo of the home maybe, or making that a stress on finances, like if certain things are changing or becoming more difficult. I mean, maybe this is just
He'll be done soon.
talking about hidden fees being added to something going on in your home life, perhaps.
Mr. Maurice, the home card is about more than just home. It's about security. It's about stability. It's about comfort. So I feel here again, there's some obstacles here to achieving, some financial things. Maybe there are things you need for the home environment. I'll give you that. That might be an obstacle to get since nothing is moving financially. But also maybe, do you need me to stop?
No.
Oh, also maybe this is saying again that, you're going to have to fight some obstacles that are in your way to achieving the financial, security and stability that you feel you need right now. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a month to lay low financially. That's what I have for you.
Sunny was 8 years old in March.
Yes, all our cats are 8. They're siblings. We have 3.
Yeah, they're all from the same litter. Mm-hmm.
He's the one who likes to take over the show, though. Occasionally, Shadow will make an appearance.
I can try that. It's based more on the camera's view than how it presents, but let me try that. Go ahead and get us worked up for the next one.
That's your cards, and I'm having a hard time reaching this. It needs to be much closer for me if you want me to be a help. There, Mr. O. Short arms and all. Okay. So next is, oh gosh, Kara. That's right. It's on my list. Sunny, I need to see my screen once in a while, sweetheart. Are you going to tell me who's next? All right, Mr. Maurice, take care. Good luck with that.
All right. Good luck.
All right, Ms. Kara. Oh, you wanted the ancestors. That's right. Sorry. What do the ancestors have for you this month? It's my deck?
Yes, it is.
I'll be darned. Let me grab this one.
Did you do that?
Did I do what?
This is kind of spooky.
Uh-oh.
Something hit my leg.
Was it the table?
No, it was the Santa pepper. It just bounced against my leg for some reason.
No, it's not. It's a shorter one. I think the Santa pepper's under him.
Well, this one's right here by my
Oh, you
my
have
foot.
both of them? I didn't do that.
I don't know where the other one is.
I wonder if
only
his
see one
tail
here.
knocked it off.
Where was it?
Oh, okay.
Was it here?
Well, that's not the Santa pepper. The Santa pepper's the one with the hat.
Okay.
Shuffle. And I think it's under him, or maybe he did drop it.
I'm beginning to wonder if you have Mercury retrograde in your chart.
Mr. O.
You never seem to understand my question.
I do understand your question, but you made it sound like there were 2 peppers there. I see the pepper by your foot.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yep, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Does it stand by for bickering? No.
No, it's not.
Uh-oh. We have the Ten of Swords upright. I'm thinking, oh, it's upright cards. How nice. But that's not always nice. And we have the Seven of Pentacles upright. And we have the Magician reversed. Oh, man. What does this mean, Kara? What do the ancestors have for you? Well, oftentimes the ancestors will say,
Go on.
that, don't try to be, I think what the ancestors might want to tell you is don't try to be something that you're not. And don't ask me why here, but when I see this Ten of Swords in the mix, I kind of feel as though it's talking more about you. It's more like self-sabotage to me in combination with this Magician here. I'm going to go two ways with this for you, Kara, because I'm not sure. Your ancestors are sending me mixed signals. Because on the one hand, I could see you, don't try to show and display a side of you that's not really you, because it will backfire on you. It will backfire on you. Really step back and assess why it is you feel maybe you have to project an image that's not you. That's what I think the ancestors want to say. But on the other hand, they could also be saying, giving you a warning in that you should be aware of other people who try to pretend they are something that they are not. Step back and really analyze and make sure you can trust some of the people that you might be associating with or communicating with.
Well, do you ever feel like maybe the ancestors are talking about the actual last life or the actual last life that had the most meaning for you? And I'm wondering if it's represented by that Ten of Swords there, that like somebody basically, did a major thing on you. You died or something. They betrayed you in some ways. And so I think the ancestors feel like a part of this life or the current karma is also about trying to just achieve the growth without necessarily exploiting it or taking it to another level. Maybe the ancestors feel too that this is a time to learn where your mastery is coming from, because you're not there yet. I have a scratchy throat. And so I'm thinking that from that last lifetime or that significant one, the lesson is really about you absorbing things because you're not still ready yet. The ancestors feel there are certain challenges or certain things that you haven't quite pulled together yet. It's not saying you won't this lifetime, but I think they want you to focus more on here and now in some respects. Hi, Gina.
Gina's here. I want to look up something. Just a minute, Mr. O. I'm sorry for the delay. Yeah. So basically, I decided to pull another card, and actually it's from this deck, and I don't even know if I can show it to you. There it is. Instead of the Lenormand, I pulled this card, and it turned out being Celestial. And this is from a deck called Messages from the Ancestors, Kara. So I just want you to take in what this has to say. It is saying you may be out of balance right now or overly focused on physical and mundane realities, worrying about the future, reviewing the past, preoccupied with everything but the present moment. You've lost perspective and may feel lost, so that you feel as though you're merely surviving right now instead of living. Remove the shackles and burdens of your troubles and worries. Regain a greater perspective and restore the relationship between your physical self and your higher self. Shed your trouble for a while by standing on the ground and releasing these energies to the Earth Mother. Imagine how, it does say here, hold on a minute, I wanted to read you this. Let your imagination roam. Let it be boundless. Imagine how these light beings, these star people, are an important part of our ancestral heritage. Make it a point to do this as often as you can. Stay in balance and connected to the limitless universe before your eyes. We do come from the stars. So actually, what this might be saying too, Kara, is that the ancestors we are accessing here for you have more celestial roots, you know? They're really deep back.
Right. Well, now I'm wondering if the celestial thing ties in with the magician too, in a way.
It does, in a way.
They really feel like you are a magician apprentice of sorts, and so you have to be good.
You still have much to learn, and so don't try to take any shortcuts or, whatever. Just go through the process, even if it can be painful sometimes, and you may feel like you don't, you have to put on airs or falsehoods to fit in. Your ancestors are telling you you don't have to do that. Trust the process.
All right.
That's what we have for you. Good luck with that. All right. I like this deck. It's a nice deck.
It's nice, yep.
It'll be making appearances through Halloween and the dark season. All right.
Libra is next. What message is coming from the angels?
The angels. All right. You made it, Gina.
So I reused the Tarot of the Northern Shadows.
Just amending my list a little bit. Okay.
All right. And she made a wonderful grilled ham and cheese for our lunch. Really nice. It just was perfect.
Did that bread absorb enough butter?
Fat.
I know. Grilled cheese is a very guilty pleasure, and I make it so.
Hope it was a nice one.
And grilled ham and cheese? Wow. It was ham and Swiss cheese on French bread. Ah, brunch with friends. That's so nice.
Who are we reading?
We're reading for Libra. The
Angels.
angels.
I'm sorry, I just
Message from the angels.
lost my track there.
It's all right.
Okay, so
The King of Pentacles will get you back on. What else?
The reversed Five of Wands.
Oh, wands. Okay.
And then the reverse Two of Wands.
The message from the angels might be that...
Did I say 5? It's a 3, isn't it?
It is a 3.
My glasses are so bad.
That does
lately.
make a difference. So we have the 2 and the 3 of Wands reversed. Okay. So I think the message from the angels is that things seem a little bit in disarray right now with some of your plans and your goals and your dreams. You just maybe have not been feeling like you've had a firm footing, on what you want to do, where you want to go, what's next for you. The king, the knight, and it's the knight. I said the king, and it's the knight of discs. It's saying that right now is just a time of transition for you, and during times of transitions, the angels say things can get a little messy. So go slowly, make your moves with deliberation. In other words, don't just do things spontaneously or on a whim. Make sure you really think about the moves you are making right now, your angels are saying, because it just has been kind of a turbulent time.
Right. The angels want you mostly to take a more cautious approach. They don't want you to be sluggard or too slow, but they just want you to take a kind of measured approach to things, because the 3 and the 2 of Wands, when they're upright, they often seem to kind of relate to each other. And so it is, maybe they do a little bit when they're reversed too, but only in that sense, that negating sense, saying that some of the obstacles may have been too challenging, and maybe, it is good that you don't go too fast, because maybe you'll decide you should really work on different challenges.
Exactly.
Different things that are more suited for what your energies or what your skills provide.
Either that or just something that you have been working on that just isn't working out. Whether it's in your personal life or business, wherever, you just have to you may have to go back to the drawing board and start over again. But it's not the end of the world, just think it through and don't act rashly either way. Just make sure the decisions you make are deliberate and you've given it some thought.
And I think above all, they don't want you to be too disappointed if things aren't working out. They sort of feel like you should just figure out how to recalibrate.
Yeah, I like that too.
So in the Lenormand, is that like the whip?
What number?
10.
Yes.
No, it's 18.
No, it's the sixth. It's the scythe. I'm sorry.
This
Scythe.
is 18.
Oh, it's 18?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it is.
No, it's La Machete. It's 10. It's got that line through the 0.
Okay. That means it's an 8.
So it is the scythe.
And it's followed by the ring. So this could be saying really that there are things that maybe the angels feel you need to clear from your life. I don't know if it's relating to that, but maybe it is. Maybe it is related to the idea of promises that didn't work out. I think you need to commit yourself to freeing yourself from those baggages or from those misdirections.
Bam, Mr. O. I like that. Exactly what I was going to say is there's some attachments to you, or that you are attached to that you need to let go of, whether it's something, a mindset, which it could be, but whether it's something more material, there's just some things you need to let go of, whether it's relationships, whatever the case may be. Uncommit from some things that have not been working out for you. And as Mr. O said, maybe it's time to recalibrate and take deliberate small steps forward.
Right.
That's what we have for you. Good luck with that. Move on to Angel Mary. She asked, what will bring me my travel to Turkey by the end of 2022? My deck, I will use this one finally. Go. The Halloween Lenormand will be making a return appearance for a while. I'm going to put the Santa Muerte aside for a little while. Probably come back out closer to the end of the month in November. We'll keep the Shadowlands out for a while and maybe rotate that with the Malefique Lenormand. Oh, well, we have the Ace of Wands reversed. The Four of Swords is reversed. Strength is reversed. They're all reversed. And then, of course, the next card's upright, right? But at least they're not, I mean, they're not totally bad here. I think if you want to make it happen, you have to aggressively pursue it. That's strength here. It looks as though there's definitely some obstacles. I don't know what they are. There may just be difficulties in making some of the arrangements you need to make. I'm sort of just think maybe it might get off to a slow start, or there might be some things that are delayed and causing issues with this trip. And that's why I'm saying you really have to aggressively pursue this and make sure everything is together for it. The Four of Swords seems to indicate to me that ultimately you might be able to get up and go. But I don't know that it's going to necessarily be easy. What do you see?
Well, I wonder if the Four of Swords is talking about recovery things too, in the sense that maybe there could be delays, the Ace of Wands delayed, because maybe, there's a delay due to protocols about health, public health in traveling to other countries, something like that. But I do feel that the key really is that Strength reverse card. That this is a card saying that you're probably going to have to play for keeps here. You're going to have to be kind of as aggressive as you can. Maybe this is saying really you're about putting energy into it too, that really rather than acting or behaving in a manner that says you're kind of laid back, that you're really taking a more direct approach. The Four of Swords is also about sort of awakening to a situation. So really the only thing is that you may be dealing with some paperwork delays or some possible delays with communications between people who maybe are stakeholders here. Bureaucrats, red tape. You might have to just really press your advantage when you can.
Let's see what the Lenormand has to add to this. See if we get any other kind of clues here. Okay. Well, this is a little bit better than I thought because of the way they came up. It's the clouds. So again, the light side of the clouds are going to be facing the coffin. So I think on a positive level, Angel Mary, this might fall into what I was talking about, that eventually you'll get up and go. It looks like there'll be an end to things that are causing confusion, stress, depression now, or maybe just, a lack of clarity. It just seems as though there's a struggle here to get things together, but it's coming to an end. I almost feel it has to do with whatever is delaying this trip that you want.
Well, I wonder if, like I said, it may have been some sort of bureaucratic red tape kind of issues, and that you'll just have to try to work as hard as you can on them. You do have several months still, so probably you don't want to delay it if you can help it, or you have to, just stay with it. But that's what it looks like too.
I hope you are already making a lot of plans and arrangements for yourself there, so that, things can be kind of set in stone, because... maybe the earlier you start pulling it together, the better. Because, if there are any issues, they'll surface earlier, and maybe you can tackle them and get this show on the road. Because I do think ultimately you'll go. But it is kind of difficult getting there. Good luck with that.
And hello, Laura, and we are doing a general reading for October for you.
Okay, and your deck.
Yes. And what have I not used or recently? Let's see. I guess I'll go back to the Ancestral Path Tarot. I like that one.
General message for October. All right.
And you're welcome. Thank you.
You. Silly boy.
Silly boy. Hey, silly boy. Aw. Sonny.
He's just all happy here.
Thank you. Yes, he is. Hi, Biddy.
What do you say?
Probably.
Okay, we can get Viddy in.
I'm not sure why, but I expect that maybe a few people may have dropped out, so we'll see,
Okay.
or they may resurface. But the general rule is if you're here when we call, that's when we're going to do your reading. Unless you leave the question and commit to coming back later, we'll just do it if we have the question. But if you're not here when we call, and we will give you a few minutes, then we may move you to the end of the list, or possibly at this point in the game we may say we can only pull a card at the end of the reading, one card for you rather than three.
And we're just a couple readings away for you, Sierra, so glad you
right.
stuck with us.
So,
All right.
Thanks, Laura, for waiting too. And your first card is Strength.
Strength Upright.
Strength Upright. Lovely card. And then, of course, you get the Five of Wands reversed. Sorry about that.
It's okay, I think.
And then we have the King of Cups reversed.
Well, it seems as though in some situation, don't allow others to kind of throw you, well, you might be. In October, it looks as though there's some thing you want to kind of let go of. You want to release yourself from something that maybe has a situation, excuse me, where people don't seem to be working together well or communicating well. It's almost as if you want to kind of move on from that.
Right. It's what I get to. I sort of feel like that you may be in a situation. It could be, I know you're looking for work, so it's probably not a workplace, but it could be an association of people. Maybe it's a neighborhood. Maybe it's friends. Maybe it's extended family. And
It's
I sort
not
of feel
getting along.
I sort of feel like there's two divergent forces here. There's somebody who is committed to trying to find solutions, find ways of dealing with things, and then there's somebody who maybe feels they're more entitled to sort of push their weight around. Or if they're not that, they're just not emotionally committed to the family or the group in whatever terms it is. And so this abrasion maybe is what you have to watch out for, just being in situations where maybe there's a dichotomy that way, Laura, where people really are very interested in being pretty polar to each other. I don't necessarily know that you're one of those, but it may be that you're just involved in this situation as a participant to some degree.
Well, in a sense, I agree with him. I don't know. You could be in the middle, of these competing forces. That's possible. The King of Cups to me indicates somebody who lacks the maturity to manage things without getting kind of obnoxious. I'm not going to say they bully, but they kind of throw a fit. A tantrum. And here is somebody here who's showing strength and diplomacy and trying to plead for sanity or, doing things fairly. But, it just seems like the situation's kind of stuck. And so it's either something you want to leave behind, and if you are directly involved in this, it's something that you are trying your darndest to work this out diplomatically. And really, there's only so much you can do if somebody refuses to listen.
And it could be too that maybe it is really just between two people, that it's not about another group of people. That Five of Spades just is indicating the idea of not being able to get along between these two different kinds of persons. But I am going to throw the Lenormand just to see what that tells me.
Okay.
And our friend the machete has shown up again, as well as the ring.
Okay. Oh, so again, this might be a time to
Cut some losses.
or cut some commitments. Commit to cutting things out that are not, or people out that are not serving you well, or kinds of situations, because, yeah, that's what it looks like there. We had those two together
We
before?
had these before for the previous reading, I think, or the previous time that I read, because that's when I used
right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think this is about saying, that maybe if it isn't necessarily about your family or people you work with or know in your neighborhood or whatever, that it may be more likely developing between you and somebody else, that maybe you're just going to have to decide this person has really been, like I said before, somebody who maybe can't emotionally connect with you or connect with a situation, and so they don't really have any way of even wanting to try to understand it. It may be time for you to work on getting rid of those kind of situations.
Agreed. I don't know,
Okay.
Laura. It seems pretty specific. That's
Yeah, it
what
does.
we
So
have
as
for
a general
you.
reading,
So
it seems pretty specific.
maybe it'll make sense as the month goes on. And yeah, it's not in the cards or in the picture right now.
Maybe you're fighting with October in general.
That's
You're welcome.
an interesting way of putting it, Mr. O. Pragati is up.
Uh-huh. Well, I thought
Right,
Pragati
Pragati.
actually asked us a question already.
No, they said their question is a bit long. There it is.
Well, I saw this one where they asked
Please bear
about the
with
next
me. I
6
need
to 8
guidance
weeks.
regarding my friendship bond with Dibanja Nandi, okay? Where even after 2 years of separation, they're still typing. So, okay, let me get a deck together while we're waiting on that. Have I used this one yet? I'm not sure I have, so... Where even after 2 years separation, I'm emotionally, mentally invested. I'm kind of stuck. Okay. Hey, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Well, I think we'll have to cut the list with Karen. Anybody
Yeah.
after Karen?
That sounds good. So it's okay to close the list after Karen.
Yep. Oh my goodness. So I guess there's 2 more. Okay. Right. Oh, that is a long time ago. Okay. Yeah, it's a long time to be out of touch. I guess we can see where things stand.
Well, I'm not really sure I needed to know all of that, but that is helpful.
It is helpful. Thank you. So we'll see what comes up with the cards. Let's see. We might have to do a yes/no on this too, but. Well, I'm sorry that's affected you so badly, but hey, we're all human. Relationships can do that.
We don't do them regularly, pendulums. It's true in a way.
The Knight of Swords is reversed.
So the first card is the Knight of Swords reversed.
The Ace of Swords is reversed.
The Ace of Swords is also
But then look
reversed.
at that. Too bad we didn't do a yes, no now.
And then the Ace of Pentacles is...
So why did you meet them? Or what is the whole thing here? It's kind of interesting. There's interesting dynamics at play here. I feel that, perhaps some wrong decisions were made along the way. Let me just talk in general about these cards first, and we'll try to get this a little bit more perspective here. But I almost feel as though some wrong decisions were made along the way. Maybe maybe somebody felt that things were moving too fast as a possibility here. If that's not you, it could be the other person. It also feels as though that Ace of Swords, and things move too fast and it might have led to failure. But there's the Ace of Pentacles here, which makes me wonder if there is a chance that they could come back. My own personal feeling, though, I hate to say it, Brigatti, is I almost feel like this is saying that this person made a rash decision or felt that things were moving too fast, and it led to, this kind of a sense of loss or for you. But I almost feel like, why did this happen to you? It's possible it happened to you because you really are meant to be somewhere else. You're meant to grow somewhere else.
Well, you said, I guess, the name I can't quite say, is from, like, you've known him since 1990 or so. So this is an incredibly long time.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like it's hard to sum all that up in a couple of cards. But I sort of feel like there's always was this kind of aggressive or destructive feel about them coming into your life. Like maybe in certain ways they might have been trying to interact with you more desperately in some way. Like maybe they were drawn to you in a way that from their part was also represented a sense of being destructive to themselves too, but they pursued or they wanted to be your friend. I sort of feel like what you have of him or what you know from him or what you should take from him, maybe too is also an idea that it helped you build your own sense of security because you spent a lot of time not being with him or not communicating with him, even if you did have this situation where you felt drawn to each other or you felt there was a connection there.
Well, it sounds to me, though, that you're kind of stuck and dwelling on it or, wanting it to come back and grow. But I wonder here if that's really meant to be. I almost think this Ace of Pentacles is saying, you are meant to be somewhere else. And this meeting may have been important at the time as far as your development goes. It filled a need in both of your lives up to a point, but it was never meant to complete.
Those two swords sort of reveal a sense of, I said desperate, but it could also be a destructive sense. Somebody that maybe causes more dissension than not. And so the thing could be that this relationship was meant to make you understand, why it probably wouldn't work out, even as friends, because they seem to have more of a destructive, or they brought more stress to a situation, or they had that potential.
And maybe out of this, in the end, it's ultimately teaching you something about your own self-worth here, I see that in a way with that Ace of Pentacles.
I see that from that. Okay. Huh.
This is really interesting to me.
So then we are getting the Clover. and the snake.
And what I really want to say here is that, you know, you really thought that this was like the perfect thing for you. You know, when I see this here, the snake is saying, though, that, you know, it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. You know, it was like, in a way, you deceived yourself. So in other words, I have to ask, is it possible you missed some signs along the way, you know, that were saying that, this isn't going to work, you know? I just wonder about that.
I think that the snake is about deceptiveness, and it could be indicating, you know, either the character of that friendship.
Yeah.
Maybe you're both deceiving each other, and not necessarily maliciously, but because there are some unanswered feelings going on there. But, Pragati, what I would say is that I also look at the numerology of the cards, and it's 2 and 7, which is 9. And that is sort of like an ending. And I'm wondering if this is saying really it's not going to come back, that it really served a purpose at one point. And I think that the clover maybe aligns a little bit with that Ace of Pentacles, in the sense of that what you need to take back is that this built you, this gave you a growth, even if you're not totally understanding your growth, but it's given you strength and a security, and you should try to move from the sense of being a more secure person. No matter sometimes what we want isn't always the best thing for us. And I'm not saying that that's my conclusion here, but I'm saying that that is something you could consider.
Well, all that glitters is not always golden. And this is saying here that what seemed like, and it also might be saying is that, you know, your wishes or your desires for this synchronicity, this click, this connection to return might be deceiving, you know, might be deceiving you. So sometimes, though, we have to let go, and you never know. When you make that space and when you consciously create that space for yourself, sometimes that energy can come back. Sometimes it doesn't, but you move on and you lead to better things. So I feel like rather than clinging to that hope, you should be clinging to some new growth in your life, because you never know where that will lead you. This person may find, you know, in time, you know, that maybe as they see you grow stronger, that they might realize what they've let go of. I mean, you just never know. But as long as you remain attached, you know, you won't know what that freedom really feels like to you.
Well, there's no way we can say that's absolutely what he's doing or what's happening. Like we both mentioned, it could be that both of you maybe are deceiving yourselves, not necessarily in a malicious way, but just because it's something that you want and you don't understand or don't see where it really is possible.
I think we're going to leave it at that. I don't want to muddle it up with a yes-no reading, because I don't feel right now the energies are indicating that it could happen. It just seems like they're kind of set on their life and there's some new growth waiting for you. I think that Ace of Pentacles is specifically for you. And so it's up to you now to, you know, let go and grow and move on from the experience. Sometimes we have to realize that even if somebody seems like they're our soulmates, we weren't meant to be together for our entire lifetime.
We absolutely welcome you to come back and ask us again about the situation, depending on, you know, how things are going, what new insights can possibly happen, Pragati, because we do believe that tarot is not a set in stone kind of procedure. And what we mostly hope to accomplish is at least giving you something to think about in regard to that.
Take care, Pragati, and feel free
You're
to come back
welcome.
and ask again.
So Sierra has finally arrived and asks a general reading of what's going to be happening in their life for the next 6 to 8 months. All right.
Wow, okay. All right.
Weeks.
Oh, weeks.
I'm sorry. Did I say months?
You did.
I meant weeks. Sorry.
Weeks. Okay, 6 to 8 weeks.
All right.
No harm.
Yes, I got it. The snapshot.
All right. Oh yeah, didn't we say to
we
close
said you
it
could with
after
Karen, right.
After Karen? Yeah.
Did you cut? I'm cutting.
You are cutting.
All right.
Because I know I should have. Oh, he's back. I have moments where I can shuffle on the table.
Come here.
Oh, look at what we start with for the next 6 to 8 weeks. The beaming light. The sun.
The sun. The beaming light, the sun.
I like that. Is that wands?
Scepters are wands.
The 9 of scepters is reversed. Oh, and the 3 of cups is reversed. Okay. Well, Sierra. You know, I feel like the sun is such a positive card. We've got 2 reversals here. But I almost wonder if the message here is for the next 6 to 8 weeks that success can be achieved when you let go of either if it's an intimate relationship or if it's friendships or if it's just associates, you know, that just are not healthy for you. If you can release some of the people in your life who might be, I don't want to use the word toxic, but it could be, and you let go, you put up the white flag and say, I have enough of this. I'm walking away from trying to make things better, whether it's in a personal relationship, whether it has to do with family, coworkers, etc. You will be much more successful.
Well, the sun can also be about finding out things, discovering
That's
things.
true.
And so it could be saying that you may come to realize that the thing you were standing up for is not valuable, or that you shouldn't be standing up for a certain thing. And that thing could be the sense of a community or a family or a friendly situation you're involved in, that you sort of see some emotional things happening. Maybe the connection with certain people is fraying and you didn't quite realize that, and you were maybe hoping to pull it together, but you may find that this situation is probably not going to end well, and you may just need to sort of back away from that.
That's good. And see, funny you say full of light, because there it is. And so I do feel here that this process that you're going through, maybe this is an acknowledgement that this is what you need to do, you know, and you need to focus. You know, if it's a friend who's really needing you, you know, that's one thing. But if they're draining you, you know, that's another. The person who's depressed, I know you were talking about there. I really feel that this might be more than just that person. It might be the other things you're talking about here. The only other thing I would say, Sierra, that came to mind, and not knowing where you are at in life right now, is kind of falls in line with what Mr. O said about the sun. Sometimes the sun is about finding things out about people. So, you know, you might be finding out just that, well, for one thing, if you could be finding out that somebody is cheating on somebody. I mean, it could be something like that, because whenever I see the 3 of Cups, I can sometimes feel that there's a third party involved in a relationship. But that being said, you will find out some things about people that will make you realize, I need to let this go. I really don't need this in my life. And you know what? We have to set those boundaries sometimes. We do. I think by the way you're talking here, you kind of know that. So this might still be your focus, you know, even if you said you've been going through some of this just recently, this might be your focus in the, you know, in the weeks going forward.
Well, I hadn't read those comments where you did indicate that it was something to do maybe with a group of friends or a situation about people who know each other. So I do feel like this is saying that maybe your role might have been to try to stick it together, but no, it's really you feel like what you said, you can't really stick around for that. It's better to kind of run. But at any rate, we're going to throw the Lenormand now. This may enhance our understanding of that. It may show some other things that are going on in the sense of a general reading, so we'll see that. I mean, clearly that's one thing that's going on in your life. It may be the thing that seems to get a big focus from the cards at this point.
All right, and I want to say something to Pragati's last thought there, but when we're done with this reading.
Yeah, Pragati, hang on.
Okay.
Okay, so the first card was the ship, El Barco. Yeah, that's the ship. And then the second one was Caballero, which is the Caballero, which is the gentleman. And so this could be saying that maybe you are journeying away from them. Maybe if this is specifically about a person, maybe they're journeying away from that.
Right, that could be that somebody's journeying away from you or vice versa, you know.
It's moving out away from it, though, is what it looks like, one way or the other.
And the only other thing, since this is a general reading, it doesn't necessarily have to apply to this situation. Perhaps you are planning a trip with somebody, you know. It's possible, too, that it doesn't necessarily have to be a gentleman, but it could be. You could be planning a trip with somebody you're close to.
Right, I forgot. It's not necessarily about what the first set of cards was.
But if I was keeping it in line with this, it's clear to me that you are going to make some moves to eliminate, you know, at least maybe possibly one person in particular who might be, you know, somebody you just don't want to, you know, you just don't need to, you've outgrown. Let's put it that way, that you have outgrown.
So really with that sun there, I think it just is an affirmation that if this is what's going on for you, Sierra, that you are making these changes or you're moving the way, the sun really is saying you will be successful, that this is really your best course to follow.
So that's what we have for you. Wishing you the best with that.
You were going to say something to Pragati?
Yeah, I am.
All right, well, go ahead.
Back away from toxicity, I say, Sierra. Yes, absolutely. Pragati, you know, this thing about justice is a funny thing. And hey, I've been in some situations in my life where I've actually seen what I feel was justice played out. But don't look for it. You know, don't bank on it or feel you need that. What is justice? Is justice something being done to somebody else? Or would justice better be you creating a better life for yourself despite what you've been through? Now that is a payback that's even better. You know, so when you think about what justice means to you, think about what you're really looking for here. I think what you want to do is prove that this didn't keep you back. This didn't hold you back. You were able to move on and make a better life for yourself. Next.
All right.
Where I want to leave that.
Okay, so Estelle asked a career reading for the next several months, 3 to 4 months, and that's going to be your cards.
Yes, and we'll go back to...
I will quickly remind everybody that Happy Hour is back on Saturday. It's our 1 card per person divine spirited message of positivity for you.
Now, we will be not having a happy hour one Saturday this month.
Yes, that's
because
the 22nd.
we have another in-person event we're doing.
That's the 22nd. We will be at the Detroit Witches Ball reading cards there at a table.
And selling some more things.
Selling more things.
Giving away more cute little prizes. As well as free readings. All right.
Thank you.
I have to say we have had some tough readings, and you know, I'm thinking about my Material Matters show too. Was not like a lot of good stuff happening materially in the next week. I just think that there's just some chaotic energies right now. that have to play themselves out, whether it's astrological. But it does seem like people are being affected, but in different ways. Okay, well, we have the Knight of Cups upright. And what was the question again?
Career reading for the next 3 to 4 months.
The Hermit is upright. Hey, they're all upright, but this one I'm not so happy about. It's the Three of Swords upright. You want to go first? I seem to have a frog in my throat. Do you have a cough drop?
No, I don't.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Well, I wonder if the career reading doesn't look incredibly, I knew he was going to do that, revealing here in terms of, positive things happening. It seems to me that you may be not as career moving, or your agenda's not career moving. It seems like maybe, believe it or not, you may be spending more time in study, possibly philosophy. There's also the hint here that maybe you're feeling, some emotional things.
Yes. Sunny's tail.
It's kind of hard reading because it doesn't really relate to a lot of career stuff.
Well, isn't it funny, too, how we've got the sorrow and then we've got this? But I almost feel like here that, your emotions are kind of all over the place, as far as career matters go. I think what needs to happen here, Asel, is to use, the time ahead to really contemplate and maybe do some study or some research on exactly what it is you want to go into. On one hand, I could almost see something shifting and changing for you, like maybe an opportunity comes along, but it will involve some kind of heavier training. And it's going to take a little bit of a toll on you. You're not really sure if you're up for that challenge, or it could be stressing you out a little bit.
Well, is it possible it's a position that involves a move away or something that is more isolating on some aspects?
Oh, like working alone maybe,
Yeah,
or working virtually?
Having to
It's
travel
possible.
far.
It's possible that you could work virtually, I think, because of the Hermit. Yeah, that
Okay.
could be. The sword, the Three of Swords here really kind of bothers me. If I had to think about career outlook, I don't know if that's pointing to a career. Like maybe this would be, in some ways helping people out in times of struggle. Whether it's pointing them to resources, or whether it's counseling or taking calls. I could almost see that.
Well, that kind of goes with the cups in a way, and the
And
hermit.
it does.
Yeah. Maybe operating a call center where you are, helping or steering people towards services, or giving people some sense of services, or where they're at.
Troubleshooting. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm seeing. It's a little bit obscure for a career reading, I have to say. Except that Hermit. Because the Hermit to me is about wisdom and knowledge. And it's like he said, too. It could be isolation, which means to me working alone, or being the only person on the job if you are in an actual physical environment. Well, despite that Three of Swords there, which is a card of sorrow, I pull the key. And so what is the key? The Star. And I think the key is here to not give up hope, to that things might be looking up for you this month after all. And also to, again, I feel here is just put yourself out there. The star is about, if you take the star in a literal sense, being a star, it's kind of like shining in front of everybody. So, in other words, don't be afraid to put yourself out there and keep trying for jobs. And that's the key. The key to success is to never lose hope in yourself and always show your best side and your optimism and enthusiasm for whatever it is you're trying to reach out for.
I don't feel that vibe, Estelle, that it could be that, but it could be. I mean, maybe, we often think that everybody in a bank is a teller, but maybe there are, behind the scenes things. There are two people that just do analysis or do other kinds of tasks for that. So once again, it could be that. I think with the Lenormand, I think this is saying really that getting your foot in the door, is the key in a certain level. The star brings a sense of hope that you have when maybe things start to begin to move. So it really is about getting going somewhere, and so I'm always hoping. Yeah, I know you do. You've talked about that before too. This could be saying really too that maybe that's the opportunity.
That's why we keep getting this Hermit though, Estelle, is because you want to start a business. And so that sounds pretty solitary here. Sure, you might be dealing with people, but if it's your business, it's your business.
Well, my father told me ever since I was a kid that the only way you get ahead in this country is by owning your own business. And it mostly is true, in terms of profitability.
So the key is don't lose hope, don't lose your enthusiasm, don't lose your motivation. Don't do something that is going to, bring you down. Maybe you need to work in the bank for a while to, build up money so you can start your own business.
There you go.
So the thing is, maybe this, being alone and starting your own business is what truly will bring you happiness. And, other things just don't do it for you. But the key is, maybe as Mr. O said, you have to get your foot in the door and start somewhere. And that's what we have for you. Good luck with that. Sick for sure is up. I know you've been waiting a while.
And the question was, why does E, the Cancer, want to help me to be strong? Well, I'm going to go back to the Tarot of the Northern Shadows.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that's unusual. Cancers, are not necessarily the poster children for strength. I know I'm generalizing. In some ways, of course, because they are about a certain aspect of home life, they may be the strongest of all in terms of, protecting their own. You're welcome, Estelle.
You're welcome, Estelle. Good luck with that.
Good luck.
Sometimes we have to take things in stages, and maybe the bank is just a stepping stone for you pulling resources enough together to successfully start a business.
By the way, Karen, if you're still here, we got a donation from you the other day, so I sent you an email about it, but thank you again.
From Kara, okay. Or Karen? Karen.
I just remembered that.
All right. Yeah, thank you for that, Karen. Very appreciative.
All right.
All right.
I had to think for a moment. So we have the...
That Three of Cups again.
Yes.
Reversed.
Aw. Karen. Okay, the Fool reversed. And then the Queen of Cups reversed. Well, so...
Why do they want to help you be strong? Because they feel something here about you right now that you really need support. They really feel like you need it. I'm looking at all these reasons why right here. And I don't know, exactly your situation, but they may feel here that you've been through something difficult, maybe some dealings with other people, maybe, somebody left you a relationship and left you for someone else. I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility, but it could just be that, you've been going through a very difficult time, whether it's with family, friends, or dealing with other people. It's been emotional, and they feel like you've really you really had a bad break here. You've had a run of bad, things happen, and they really want to see you get stronger.
Well, it is possible this person, E, sees some things that basically were challenging for you emotionally. The Three of Cups reversed may be saying really a relationship or a set of friendships failed on you, that maybe you felt disincluded from
or is
them.
it family relations?
Or
even?
family relationships, but something kind of just really dropped you, or just dropped their connection to you. And that has resulted really in a lot of you questioning yourself and your self-worth, that maybe you felt you did something wrong. So they're trying to build you up because they see that. And they also realize too, with the Four reversed, that you need confidence building. You need to be able to trust your gut more, that maybe, as a emotional basis in your life, you felt you were listening more to other people's feelings than to your own in some way. And that's what E has been trying to help you with. They don't want to see you that way.
Well, I hope some of this resonates. Let's do your Lenormand and see what we can add to this. It just seems like they've realized you've had a run of difficult times or bad lucks or misadventures. The Three of Cups here could also indicate just that, it could even be a work environment. I'm not going to rule that out either, even though it's not exactly leaning that way. But what do you have?
Okay, so we got the Los Racones, the rats.
The mice. Again. Okay, we'll talk about that.
And then, of course, but what comes after Los Racones? El Zorro.
So I don't know if this was even a work situation, or, again, if it was dealing with some people who just didn't have your best interests at heart. I'm looking at the fox, and the fox can be a neutral to a negative card depending. Sometimes it talks about the workplace and employment, and other times it talks about people who may be cunning or sneaky,
Deceptive.
which to me kind of falls back in line with that Three of Cups reversed, that they're doing things that might be deceptive in some ways. And the rats or the mice are about stress and strain and, maybe even a slight sick spell, just things, causing a lot of little annoyances and stress in your life right now. It does not necessarily major, but when I look at all of these cards here, I sense there's been some issues.
Well, when I think of these as the reasons why E is trying to build up your strength or your morale or your motivation, and then I look down here and I'm thinking that maybe you are misperceiving what the irritations are. Maybe you're not understanding those things that he's trying to help you with, because maybe you're deceiving yourself in some way, or the way these things present, if they are other people, weakening you or challenging you emotionally, you're misinterpreting those intentions perhaps. I know that's a little bit out there, but just an idea.
Interesting. That's what we have for you. I wish you luck with that. I hope we've hit on something here that resonates. But it looks as though, to me, well, I have to say, because you were asking why they were trying to help you.
They want to help you through what's irritating.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it that way. I just had a slight thought, though, afterthought, that, Are you concerned that they have ulterior motives? I guess I have to ask you that. Are you concerned that they might not be upfront with you and they're taking advantage of you at a difficult time because they've seen what you've gone through here?
Right. It could be, bothersome to you, worrisome that you don't really understand their motivations.
It could be that.
It could be.
I really overall think their intentions might be pure, but
the way those cards fell, those are all reversed.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's the idea that maybe they're trying to be your best friend, and of course, ultimately, they may be more manipulative.
So I want you to just keep your eyes open, but I think their intentions for the most part are pure, but they definitely see you've gone through a difficult time.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. And feel free to come back and ask again for more clarification if this seemed to straddle the line. Something just struck me right at the end of that reading, and that's why I had to say that.
Sometimes when we come back to a question, other things come up for us that maybe are relevant. So.
Right. So it's okay to ask again. So, all right. So we have Kid is up. So basically, you're having trouble finding work. You don't even know where to look. So let's take a look at what's going on for you career-wise, or what we can glean from the cards here. See if we have any ideas for you. All right.
Your deck.
Oh, it is. It is. Okay. The fox is a funny card. I have to think of context to the question a lot when the fox comes up, and the card that's next to it, and with the mice next to it. I can see that maybe you have some concerns about that, sick for sure, whether this person is really on the up and up or not. They definitely know you're not in a good place right now. And that you need support. Let's see what the cards have. Okay, it's a Two of Swords reversed. All right, the Queen of Pentacles is reversed. And the King of Wands is upright. So 2 out of 3 are not bad cards here. That Queen of Pentacles clearly in the middle is problematic. It's almost as if you just have a hard time. Really, you're having a bit of a hard time financially right now. You may be having a hard time really trying to focus your energy on work. But the Two of Swords is saying this is time. Maybe it's even past time, Kid, for things to start moving for you. It's time for you to make a move one way or another, or a decision of some sort. I know you're saying you're not even sure what direction to go in. This is almost saying, actually, you need to be here or past by now because things might be getting bad. So you've got to move on. And the King of Wands, to me, is saying you should be able to do this. I think you should be able to do this, but it's also possible it's saying to me that maybe you should get some career advice. Try to find a career counselor, a career advisor to guide you into where you should be going right now. Possibly, too, is going to, even if you need something right now to get by and get yourself back into the swing of things, to even go to an agency, that hires temp workers to just try to get back motivated again.
To me, I feel that Queen of Pentacles reversed in the middle is a key card in some respects. I don't know where it starts at, but the key card is, and I just sense this because I don't really know you. We didn't talk much, but I get the feeling like maybe you're a frustrated artist of sorts, or you're somebody that wants to be more creative, but you're stymied. This could be because you don't really have a creative flow, but you desire to have that. So that could be a different problem altogether. But in general, I feel that Banshee's right. This is really about forging a direction that maybe you've been kind of holding back because you feel this stymie, you feel
blocked.
You feel blocked. And I'm actually wondering if this is saying really you have to move maybe more into a business kind of sense, not so much doing creative work, or something, but maybe it's talking about doing some retail, and I don't know if that's one of the things that you have limitations from. Have you ever thought about working at a public library?
I knew you were going to say that.
I knew you knew that.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because public libraries have very much entry-level positions. Filing a book. Do you know the alphabet? Do you know numbers? Just a thought.
His library's hiring.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a convenient area for you.
But the thing is that I think clearly here he's on to something with this being the key card. But it's almost like what I'm seeing here is these two cards, Kit, are describing your situation. It's almost as if it's describing your situation as it stands. You need to make some moves here. You need to make some decisions. You need to figure out what you need to do, but you're blocked. You feel totally blocked and unmotivated, unproductive, just stuck in a rut. This kind of could be, it's not the perfect card for it, but it kind of reminds me of a writer's block situation. You just feel blocked. And the King of Wands is here saying it's time to regain control and aggressively move forward on this. And, whatever you obtain now could just be a stepping stone for you. If you've been out of work for a while, I don't know your situation. If you've been out of work for a while, take it easy on yourself. Try to find something that could be at least a little bit enjoyable. Besides libraries, museums hire people. Maybe cultural institutions might be more up your alley. Entertainment venues. We knew somebody who,
I'm waiting for my chance to suck up some of the oxygen.
Go ahead.
Well, the King of Wands isn't just about retail. I know I threw that out there, but retail is hell, to put it accurately. But the King of Wands could be about saying wherever you are able to use a sense of your personality, charisma. And so that's anywhere where you can possibly interact with the public. So it could be retail, but it could also be the public sector, like libraries. If you're at all interested, write me at the Gmail address, which and I'll tell you more about my library. It's in the Downriver, Detroit area, so I don't know if that's conducive for you.
But at any rate, I think also, for example, we knew somebody once who got a job with the Detroit Tigers and was, a person who went to all these different concerts and events there and, did some crowd control. So they interacted with the crowds, etc.
I've known a few people
They got to go to venues.
Right.
So, sometimes it's just a matter of, with this Queen of Pentacles, you have to think outside the box and, and think of your skill levels, and maybe also just think, if you're really non-motivated, find something that would really engage you in some other way.
I think maybe Banshee is ultimately right, though. You may need to find a way to talk to somebody who can give you more clarification on where you're at with what your skills are versus, what are the things that are too challenging for you. But we're going to do the Lenormand, two final cards.
Not too far from downriver, Mr. O.
I will be happy to talk about you. It's not a full-time job. It's 28 hours a week. So that would be 4 days a week, something like that. Give me a buzz at Gmail if you're at all interested. It's very pleasant. And you get to work with me if you get
Some days.
Some days.
That's right. Because he's not working full-time there.
We're nearly in desperate need. We're down 2 staff persons.
Well, this is very positive. You got the bouquet, which is a great card. And you've got the bear, which is really awesome too. So I could read this a couple of ways as well, Kit. One way is that right now, doing something that just will make you feel better. So in other words, just getting yourself a foot in the door somewhere will make you feel better and bring some joy back into your life, you know? That's one way I want to read it. But another way I could read this is that, you know, I almost feel like something could open up for you here, because the bear is about financial well-being and securing yourself financially, and the bouquet is about a gift. Somebody handing you an opportunity or a gift of some sort. So I do think something might be in the offing.
Well, the bear is about self-empowerment too. It's
Yep.
about really
Yep.
finding your strength, finding your power, you know, ground yourself there. And it's saying that's the answer to finding that gift you seek, that opportunity, that pleasant thing. Is a large part of it is believing in yourself. So to some degree, the bear kind of aligns with the King of Wands, who is this charismatic, magnetic personality. I sort of feel that is you. You know, you're a work in progress. You know, you need to keep working towards that, but you can do it. We believe that, and it's just taking it a step at a time.
Yep. That's what we have for you. I hope
All right,
that
Kit.
helped.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. All right.
Okay, so Susie is Rakesh. Am I understanding that?
I don't know.
Rakesh Sahu.
Oh, okay. At Susie Rakesh is next. Okay.
Okay, because up above you say Susie Rakesh. You did in a comment up. I scrolled up a little bit. You're welcome, Kit.
It is Rakesh and then Susie. All
Okay,
right. That's
so-
kind of what I had. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, you're very welcome, Kit. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. And you subscribe to our channel. Appreciate that
Thank you
as
for
well.
subscribing.
Congratulations again on winning that free reading from us, and glad you enjoyed that.
And we'll see you again. All right, so we have it then. Well,
Do we have a question from Rakesh? They asked if their ex is coming back, returning. Got
okay,
it.
let's do a yes or no. Thank you, Kit. It's my deck, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go to the Ancestral Tarot. The Ancestral Path Tarot.
We're meeting such great people when we go to these in-person events. Like we went to some on, God, why do I keep forgetting? Heartland.
Mm-hmm.
One of those. Michigan, where we went to our favorite store up there, Arts and Crafts.
I keep thinking
Did
of
you
that.
think I forgot the name of that? No. And we had great times there. The Pagan Pride Days, the Witches' Balls, the event we did in the spring. It's just been very good. It's great to be able to get out some places again, even though we're still a little bit COVID shy.
Well, our window of immunity that we may have, having had COVID, is winnowing down. So,
You're not immune for long, or I don't want to take that chance on it.
I have been personally.
And we can't get the shot now till December because we had COVID.
I had been personally afeared about really engaging, and I still am. I'm not sure I'm ready to go to movie theaters yet or restaurants, though we've done that a little bit right now. But I really wanted to get back into exercising and going to a club and working out. And I'm starting to feel like maybe I need to just sort of confront that, whether I can do that or not. All right, so judgment. You were supposed to do it.
We were supposed to do a yes/no on
Let's
that. Let's
reshuffle real quickly.
Yeah. Oh, you want to reshuffle? We're going to do a yes/no on that, Rakesh, to see Rakesh, sorry. Just to see if it comes out right.
Here.
All right. It's about the ex coming back, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going back to movie theater anytime real soon.
I miss sitting and relaxing
I
in
do.
a restaurant
I miss it.
and eating
Yeah, I miss that.
off the menu. Carryouts just don't seem the same to me somehow. But yes, we mostly still do that, I think, overall, if we eat out. But
Well, we went to 2 places, I think, to eat out since our recovery, and one of them was definitely at an off hour, so it was an okay experience. But we're not going to keep doing that. We
I'll
know
count
we
them,
can't.
though.
Not until we know something really changes with all this.
Well, until we can get the shot, too.
Yes. I know, I really miss going to the gym.
Okay, so we asked if this person was coming back. We got a definite no here.
Yeah, it's really very definite.
It's, well, according to the
As
cards,
definite
at
as it
least
gets.
right now, how they see the situation. We have the King of Sacred Circles here, which is the King of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups reversed here. And we have the Prince of Wands here, upright. I almost feel like it's interesting to me to see that. The Prince is the page, isn't it?
No, that's the Knight because there's a princess.
Okay, that changes my perspective just slightly. But it does kind of throw me off a little bit here with the 2 of these cards. I almost feel as though they are happy and content where they are when I see this King of Pentacles card, that they're not ready to come back. And especially here, they just don't, I almost feel like they don't want to revisit the past. And the reason I'm saying that, because I know this is usually about going back, but this is a no reading.
And it's a reverse. Yeah.
And I almost feel it ties into this. They're moving forward now. They want to continue moving forward with where they're at now.
Right. The King of Pentacles or Sacred Circles is somebody who's very invested in their life. It could mostly pertain to career and, monetary prosperity things, but it sort of has an overall picture of that. Somebody who's really in charge of their lives, they manage it well. That Eight of Cups says they're not coming back. They don't want to come back towards what was. And the Knight of Wands says they're just moving ahead, that they are actually maybe looking towards other relationships. I don't know if that's the kind of relationship you had or just in general networking. So they may be really pursuing a number of different agendas is what it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're, if they're not in a relationship now, which they might be, but if they're not, they're pursuing something else, is what it seems like to me when I see that. Let's do the Lenormand.
Our Lenormand, only to throw a wrench in things.
Is it?
Our first one is the Moon.
Not necessarily.
Alrighty. And then the Ring. So
I wonder if they are committing to someone else.
Yeah.
Or if they already are committed to someone else.
The Moon oftentimes can talk about romances or relationships. And with that combination with the Ring, it's suggesting that this person is committing or is possibly committing to another relationship.
That's what we have for you, Rakesh. I wish I had better news. Sorry about that.
Okay, so now is Susie.
Susie! We're hitting the bottom of the list finally. We are definitely into overtime. but we will happily read for everybody.
Okay, so just going to mention again that I have the emotional exchanges on Fridays. You can check that out right here. And then also, too,
I know.
see if I can find
Long
that.
day, Violet. Sorry, we're definitely doing some heady overtime today. Okay, Susie, what think and feel Alika about D the Scorpio?
Oh, that's right. Okay. I went to the wrong screen. I thought I had one I could talk on, and I didn't have the microphone set up there. Stand by for nothing. All the more for obtusity, I say. It's okay. Mr. O had delusions of being interesting.
Delusions, yes.
I have to split two scenes in halves because they don't work together.
Okay, first card is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Ooh.
The Eight of Pentacles reversed.
Then we have the Ace of Cups reversed. They're all reversed, I could tell. And we have Justice reversed. Are these two together now or not?
I don't know. What does Alika think about D the Scorpio? I thought before they might have mentioned that they weren't necessarily a romantic partner. But I sort of feel like, I'll just start off here, is that maybe if there was some sort of romantic thing going on, or if they were normally, in a relationship, I think that maybe Alika says this is hard work, being in a relationship. That's that Eight of Cups reversed and then the Ace of Cups reversed. It sort of feels like they don't want to do the work or they don't feel good about doing the work. And then,
I like it. Yeah.
And then that, they don't feel it's fair. Maybe they want something different.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's funny here. I almost feel like they feel like for what they put into a relationship, they feel like it's just not worth it to them. And I don't know why here. Or maybe they just feel they're not feeling the love and they don't want to put the work into the relationship.
Something like that.
And it just seems as though they're looking for something that they feel is more, I want to say balanced, harmonious. I almost feel like they were looking for somebody that they feel that they can click more with.
Okay, right, that they feel equal with.
Yes. That's more
Equitable.
their kind of person.
So they didn't feel they were on the same ground.
That's what I'm kind of feeling.
Okay, that's interesting, yeah.
So that's the short of it. I don't see anything very positive in this reading, whether it's love or just friendship or whatever. You just know this person.
They didn't want to do it.
They just don't, or this person, the people involved here, this one person doesn't seem to want to participate. Yes, Divine, you are next, and then Gina, I think, and Vidi, and Karen. And Violet.
And Violet. The show never ends.
It's all right. The show will end. Ready for this? All right, so we have the scythe here, and it's pointing towards the crossroads.
Oh.
Well, if they haven't already, it's almost as if they want to cut things off and move in a different direction. They almost want to cut ties and move in a different direction.
Yeah, that's really what it looks like. The crossroads is often about finding multiple ways to go, but the Sith is cutting into that, and so it may be saying, I don't want to go any of these ways. I want to go some way that maybe is not necessarily represented by what seems to be my choices.
It's funny here the way he laid these out with that cup, reversed cup in the middle too, is just kind of like, yeah, I'm cutting these ties and I want to move to something else.
So it doesn't seem that Alika is thinking it was a good thing or that it worked out.
Or will work out. That's what we have for you, Susie. Sorry it wasn't better news. Some of the relationship stuff today has been kind of tough.
Well, I'm wondering if it's just because, as Mercury begins to go direct, communications that maybe were kind of messy are now starting to iron out, but there's still some problems fraught with that.
You want an ancestors card? We can do it.
Okay, and then we can throw Lenormand to enhance that.
Yeah, let's see what we get here. This way.
This is a pretty nice deck.
To shuffle?
That too.
No, it is a nice deck. I haven't used it much in the past. I've had it for a little while. It's by Dr. Stephen Farmer. I have a couple other of his decks, his oracles. He publishes through I think it's the Australian, is it Rockpool? I'm not sure.
And there you are.
No, it's actually Hierophant. I take it back. And it's from Texas, Hierophant Publishing. All right. Wow, interesting one. We have the Storyteller. Love that card. Let's see if I can find it. Shaman. No. Singer. Storyteller. Imagination. And storytelling has existed forever, basically. Before the written word, what was there? Stories. This could be hearkening back to a really ancient ancestor, before the time of the written word even, divine, Cultural values and history are passed along. The gift of storytelling conveyed tales inspired by the imagination. I want to see what this means for you. The calling for you now is to seek and listen closely to stories, ones that have meaning and depth, ones that speak to your heart and soul. You will find these tales in books, in movies, your daily life, and the fertile ground of your imagination. You'll also discover amazing stories by asking others about their lives and experiences, learning from what others have gone through. I love that. When another person opens up and shares their story, be sure to listen attentively with sincere interest and without judgment. Practice making up stories of your own by drawing upon your imagination, especially if there are young children that are willing to not only listen, but also participate in the storytelling. You no doubt have many untold stories about yourself and your life as well. And drawing this ancestor card indicates it's time to communicate your personal story. Sharing stories is a way to connect with others and enrich everyone's experience. We cannot live multiple lives, but we can learn from others through their stories. and they can learn from us as well. And I'm a firm, I love this card. Storytelling is near and dear to my heart. And I always feel, whether you think your life is boring, whether you think your life has no stories to tell, there are always stories to tell. How you pulled yourself up to where you are today. What kind of childhood you had. What kind of fun you had. We all have stories. What kind of foibles you had. We all have stories to tell, and you'd be surprised the knowledge that you can get from others or gain from others through the stories that they have to tell.
Immersing in stories is a way also of connecting with maybe the great collective unconsciousness. I'm the kind of person that believes that a lot of things that come to us in dreams or from stories we read are archetypes of universal situations, whether they're from the human condition that maybe is known to all cultures, or maybe the aspirations of what we find in the cultures where we can look at mythologies or other stories to find resonance, to find good morals, to portray good modeling behavior.
I would add to this is maybe this is a call for you to
there you go.
Investigate your family's stories, more of your culture, your family, genealogy. Maybe this is to immerse yourself in some study of your line and your lineage as well, as a possibility here.
Fascinating thought there,
But I love the thought of also just reading more books and enriching yourself with, the lives of other people. It doesn't have to be fiction. It could be nonfiction. It could be memoirs. It could be biographies. It could be travel logs if you're interested in travel. So there's all kinds of things that could just engage you. And this is this is a time to open yourself up to that. And it's a perfect time of year for something like that too.
So we're going to draw the Lenormand and get out of here. All right, so we have the mountain.
Divine, this is so funny. I'm reading what you were saying there because your journey was not easy and you fought and faced it against all odds. And look what I pulled here. And I mean, I pull them randomly, but here is the fox and here is the mountain. And this is showing how you were able to overcome your obstacles and the things that were in front of you by, being smart, wise, crafty, and being able to pull yourself through.
I like what you're saying there, and stories can be very illustrative for in services, for teaching things, kind of things like that. It's a behavior that we can kind of put out there for people to model, or at least take some sort of quality from the story, Aesop's fables kind of thing. So the fox in the mountain, I think, is saying is don't be surprised or deceived about how your progress goes, because your progress is about challenging yourself. You need to sometimes have that irritation to also grist you towards better, towards climbing further up the mountain.
Yeah, and you're right. You do it in your business. I don't think businesses realize how much storytelling is a part of their world, no matter what the business. And I mean, we could just say, of course, commercials are out there to tell a company's story, sure. But how their employees work together, how people treat each other, how you relate to your public, even like in a hospital, how healthcare. Healthcare is full of many stories, We just don't think about it enough. But storytelling just imbues just about everything we do. Wow, so real interesting card there, Divine. I hope you enjoyed that.
So good luck, Divine. And Gina is up.
Gina!
There she is.
Okay, the energy for the coming month. Deck of our choice. Well, I think it would be yours, so do you want to pick one or do you want me to?
Do you have a deck that might be appropriate? I mean, I'll pick one if you don't.
I got just the witchy and the Halloweeny.
Well, okay, I could use any of the ones I'm using. I'll use the Ibis
Okay,
Tarot.
that's good.
There's a central feel about it. Thank you.
Let's see what's shaking. Ah. The sun is out, and once the show is over, I'm sitting outside. I'm going to chill outside for a while, and I probably will chill. Although it's gotten up to 72 in here, Mr. O.
Then I might stay here. You're welcome, Divine. You're very welcome.
Hey, you are welcome, Divine. Keep writing that story. Keep adding positive pages. We've had 2 really nice sunny days. I got out a little bit yesterday. Maybe I'll even get on the elliptical in the garage, Mr. O.
I'm actually thinking about whether I want to eat or not tonight and what that would be.
Oh, okay.
No elliptical in my future.
Food.
Food. I want salad.
All right.
All right.
I
then.
want bad things, but I never get them. Anyway.
That's right.
go
And you
ahead.
shouldn't. Okay, so the first one is the Three of Pentacles.
Okay.
And then it's followed by, there we go again, that Nine of Scepters or Wands. We've
It's
had that.
upright this time.
I know, we've had it both ways before, so that's kind of interesting. And then the Warrior or Knight of Pentacles.
Well, he's work oriented right now. It seems like the Three of Pentacles. Is he still doing tour stuff? Because it just seems as though he is working on projects and goals. It seems like some things are shifting around him. He's
Holding his own. He's sort of standing in position in a way. This may indicate that he's not really liking it totally. He understands there's a job to do, the Three of Pentacles, and he understands he's the one doing the job.
well, and he might be working with others. He's
True,
definitely
right.
in
He
a
is-
collaborative mode here.
Well, I think he's that person who maybe is more likely in charge of certain aspects
okay.
here, some aspects at least. But I'm not
Ah.
so sure he likes standing in that position. He might like other aspects, being more creative, or maybe he just needs some downtime or something.
So did he decide he's not retiring? Because to me, when you mentioned that the 2023 tour is being planned,
could be
this
that
almost
Three of
looks like a
Pentacles.
card of planning and preparation right here.
Okay.
And because it's the Nine of Wands,
But
right?
that's the Three of Pence, too, in a way.
And the Three of Pence is like talking, teamwork, collaborating. The Warrior of Pentacles, though, is, he might be actually, I wonder about this. I don't know if he's under contract, how it works for him, but he might be looking to try to get some more money.
Could be. Or somehow enlarge his profile in some way.
Yeah. Seems like it's, I hate to say it, but it looks like Mr. Bed is in
He's on retainer.
the bed of business right now.
Retainer is good.
He's on retainer. Okay.
All right, so in the Lenormand department, El Arbo, the tree, and El Sol, the sun. Wow, this is kind of fantastic.
I know.
He's ascendant.
He's in a successful place, or he will be. And that's why I'm looking at that Knight of Pentacles in a really more positive light here. That, he's in a growth spurt right now, whether it's with business or some other area of his life. There's success for him and growth.
Well, it may be that even if, being on retainer, he might be locked in contractually. There is a sense here that he may be finding out things that can grow or change his position. I mean, he may find out that there are ways to alter his contract or his fees.
Well, I don't know. Something's up.
But right, it's not even necessarily just about money. It might just be about, gaining more responsibility, which would lead to another position or more, a bigger a bigger place in the overall thing.
He's on a growth spurt, and whatever right now is everything is looking bright and sunny for him. And
Spiritual's good.
I'm tending, spiritually and emotionally. I do think that's possible here. Definitely, this is like the tree of knowledge, the tree of learning. So I think this is all positive. He's in a good place. He really is.
So that's our check-in with Bedhead.
Yeah. No worries about him. He seems in a good spot.
Yeah. Not bad at all. All right, so Viddy has asked, why is there no movement in my love life? It's been stuck for a while now.
Aw. All right. It's going to be me.
Yep.
We'll use the leaf. The leaf is getting retired. Not that our leaves have fallen yet. But I've noticed there are some rusty colored trees nearby our condo. So the colors, they are changing.
You're welcome, Gina.
You are always welcome. It's interesting too, Gina, since it was a check-in, that sun and that tree could also be an indicator of his health right now too, since this was a check-in. And I would say that because the tree is about physical health and well-being, and the sun is about success and growth and positive energy. So I think he's, like I said, he's in a really good place right now.
Well, if he's, currently in between things, but he's on retainer getting money, hey, what could be better, right? Do you remember?
What? Oh, I do. I think. Okay, I do. I didn't tell him though, but I can.
Okay, so Viddy wants to know, why is there no movement in the love life? And here's the Hierophant. Here's Justice reversed. Excuse me. And there's the Three of Pentacles reversed.
Why is there no movement? Well, the Hierophant can be a funny card. Sometimes, Viddy, it is the card of marriage, but I don't know. Since I'm looking at these reversed cards here, there are some other aspects to the Hierophant I want to talk about here in relation to your question. So why aren't things moving? It's possible because you're kind of stuck right now. Maybe you're being a little too set in your ways. Maybe you have certain standards and expectations that just aren't being met. But I also think maybe it's just because you are kind of set in your ways right now. And the Three of Pentacles reversed might indicate to me that you're not putting enough effort into things happening.
A lot of this seems to be more on you, and I realize that sounds rude because I don't really know you, but it does feel like maybe you're the person who has some certain limitations or ability to move yourself or not. And the Three of Pentacles at its base, it could be saying that you in general maybe don't always work well with certain people or with groups of people. And sometimes, of course, getting to meet somebody means involving meeting people around them, a dating scene or some situation. So this could be saying maybe too that because you're too conventional, you're not willing to kind of do that, to sort of jump into a dating scene.
Right, and that reverse could tie into that a little bit,
think so.
couldn't it?
Because maybe you're ultimately sort of assuming that, you have a role to play and somebody else has the role to sort of court more. So court you more. So maybe you're not feeling you can be assertive necessarily in this relationship, or in seeking a relationship. You might feel like maybe you're the one that needs to be approached. So it's a conventionality that you sort of hold yourself away from that because maybe you're not able to be more assertive. And maybe you're assertive enough, but maybe you're not assertive really enough.
So maybe it's because you're kind of set in your ways, or the kind of individual you want. Things might not be happening. Justice reversed to me is kind of indicating that, there's just, things are not balanced right now. Things are not balanced. And I feel it has to do with the Hierophant, that, you may not be open and objective in and being receptive to others right now. Possibly, maybe it's because of past experiences you've had. So you're now kind of feeling like there's only certain things you want to go after, and it might be limiting you in some way.
Another way of me looking at justice reversed with the Hierophant could be that maybe if you've had certain significant relationships and they did not work out well, you may have felt that really that kind of soured you a little bit, and that you're maybe a little bit more cautious or circumspective.
The only other thing I can see here, because the Hierophant sometimes is about norms, of social norms and societal expectations. So it's possible here that also is causing the imbalance here, as you're trying to toe some kind of line here, of, is it parental expectations? Is there something else going on here that may play a role? And which is why that maybe things are not, that there's a struggle right now. I want to throw the Lenormand and see what we can add to this to see if it can give me a little more
Well, that's a good question. I mean, we don't know you well enough necessarily to give you that kind of advice, but
I can possibly, but let's throw these Lenormand and think about it more too with what we get here. It might give us a clue, it might not.
Some of this is calling into you to maybe challenge what you feel are your norms that maybe are also the reasons why you hold back, and try to work on stepping beyond those norms. So that can be really different depending on, personalities. All right, so we have the snake and the fish.
It's really interesting, because if this was a different sort of reading, it would be really about money and abundance. But this is a relationship reading. And so what I'm looking at here is sometimes the fish can come up in a relationship reading, meaning that there's lots of people out there. But then you have this snake here. And that's saying that there's some deception, sneakiness. So what am I trying to say? I think what I'm trying to say here, Viddy, is that maybe sometimes you're held back by the worries of all the deception, all the people who are out for maybe one thing, and they're not being sincere. So I feel that maybe that holds you back too a little bit. And so I think what you have to do here is you do need to have some standards, Don't accept anything less than what you're worth. But on the other hand, you may have to broaden your perspective on what you think is, a worthy partner. You may have to be more willing here with this justice reversed to be willing to open your mind to maybe some types of people with some interests, or maybe they don't make enough money for you, or maybe they come from a different class or social status than you, or maybe something else. But you have to be more open-minded to what you are willing to accept, in your life and as a partner.
I could look at it also, I agree with everything she said pretty much, but I could also say it could be a little bit of the opposite kind of idea too, that maybe too many people who show differing levels of interest to you, maybe make you feel that they're being deceptive too. So it works both ways in a way.
Yeah, Zahira, we'll have to catch you some other time. We're sorry. We closed the list a little while ago, and we're going on and on here.
Right, we're still going on. Sorry, but we could try to catch you on Thursday if you can possibly come back. We're here a little later Thursday nights, 7
But it's a
p.m.
little quieter, so you might be able to get in. All right, so it's looking still a little bit tough, but it seems like you're going to have to do some self-evaluation, I feel here, in determining what it is you're really seeking. And can you be open to different kinds of people with maybe different political views, different social views, different kind of lifestyle that they live, whatever the case may be.
I think you latched onto it. I think a big part of what you're saying about is that you have to kind of normalize or get yourself accustomed a little bit to varying types of personality types. And you may feel now that you're used to different kinds of people, but you might have to go a little bit more into that territory, whether it's going to a coffee shop or a bookshop or a temple or a church or some other place where you can, not necessarily feel like, you're there to be looked at, but feel like you're part of that community, and you can take that measure of differing types of people. You might have to become used to people in a different way than maybe you have been up to now.
And that's true. Get involved in organizations and communities. I noticed too with that Three of Pentacles reversed there might be some aversion to doing that, but if you can get involved and work with other people, you never know what doors those could open. You might meet the perfect person in that scenario.
Right. You won't meet people by not going anywhere.
Exactly.
So it's really about finding situations you can feel comfortable in that maybe aren't necessarily a job or something else, but where you can kind of take the measure people. Volunteering or different kinds of jobs might be that. All right, so we're on Karen now, and Karen did ask us a question.
Yeah, does my husband have a message for me? Here, Deck.
All right, so is your husband deceased? Because if he is, if you're asking that way, then I would probably use my Ghost Tarot because I feel like it attunes to the spirits. Yeah, and I didn't want to say that I didn't think you were that kind of person because I don't really know, Viddy. Okay, so Karen, I'm going to use the Ghost Tarot. I use it on a couple other shows, but I feel it is conducive to give me messages from the spirit world.
Very welcome, Viddy. Good luck with that.
You are very welcome, Viddy. That flew out of my hands, but I'm not going to count it totally. But I will tell you that it was the Eight of Wands reversed. And so it may feel like maybe there's some sort of delay or distraction, or that previous messages just didn't really reach the mark for some reason.
Well, there may be some trouble connecting. Maybe, in fact, they've been trying to have a message for you, but they've just been having trouble getting through. So let's see what the cards might say. I hope that wasn't saying the cards aren't going to be able to get through.
No, we would never say that.
Well, we'll see what the cards have to say. They have the last word.
It's true.
All right.
All right. So it's the reversed Knight of Cups.
Knight of Cups, okay.
And then it's followed by the Eight of Swords. I like this. It's beautiful, but it's sad at the same time in a way. And then there's another... Oh, wait, we didn't have a 7. There's a 7 of Coins, upright, which is upright. And I feel your husband says they're waiting for you. The 7 of Coins is a card of waiting, of not necessarily moving into action. The Eight of Swords maybe says that they cannot be with you. They are contained in another realm. That's the Eight of Swords, is that idea of being sort of stuck there. Sometimes when it pertains to other things, it says it's a voluntary enclosure on yourself. But I think in context, this is just saying they are separated in another realm. But I think the Knight of Cups says they are sad. They are sad.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I'm not saying like they feel you need to join them anytime really soon.
No.
But there's a depth of emotion portrayed in this card here. They miss you.
Yeah, I don't want to make you cry or anything.
I'm making myself cry a little bit.
I know. It just like with the Knight of Cups here, I feel like they may be moving, they may be trying to move on in a way, but they do miss you. They're sorry they had to leave, in the way that they have, and they really feel obviously they could not do anything about that. They're kind of feeling as though, they don't want, I almost feel like this is a message for you here. They don't really want you to stand still. They don't, I know you said about waiting. They're waiting for you is one thing, but I feel they don't want you to just be holding on to them. They don't want you to just be standing still and doing nothing till you can meet again.
Well, then you got to wonder if this says that they want you to feel free to move on emotionally,
moving through your sorrow and not being tied to, what was. And that you need to break free from that and be willing to move on, without that remorse, without that sorrow. I see both ways here, really, because I do feel they miss you. So
it's a little bit of both in a way.
I really do feel they miss you, but they don't want you to be tied to what can no longer be in this lifetime for you.
All right, so how interesting. How very interesting.
Oh.
That's the clouds, right?
Yep.
Dark side, and that's the man, the Cavallero.
It's the sadness again. It's
the sadness again.
I hope, he passed away. Were you guys together? Was this just a sudden passing? Because I do feel there's some sorrow here. There is some sadness that they still feel. And maybe they still have a little bit confusion on the passing itself, I'm not sure how they passed, so I don't want to say for certain, but...
It's kind of interesting because, of course...
33 years, oh my gosh!
Wow.
Were you together for 33 years? Is that what you're saying? Or has he passed that long ago?
It was very sudden.
It was very sudden. So I think it left him very confused. Mm-hmm. And clearly he had no choice in the matter. Just, There was nothing that could be done. It just all seems to fit. So I feel here, though, he is saying, though, while he may be waiting for you the time that you could meet again, he's also saying, please, though, move on. Don't sit there and ponder for too long.
Right.
There are things that, you could be growing in your life. Still. He passed a year ago. So sorry.
We're sorry, Karen.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it. And I think it may fit. Definitely, I was wondering about the sudden passage. It was, to me, it seemed like that because of the clouds here that just, surprised them. It confused them. Okay, well, good luck moving forward. And I think that's the message here. Move forward knowing that your husband is still there. I feel like, he is watching you. He is watching over you. You should feel that. But he would also want you to know that it is okay to keep moving forward. Wow. Woo. Violet, I do know your questions, so I'm going to try Hey, we love you too, Karen.
We love you,
Take care.
Karen.
Thank you again for the donation. We really appreciate that. Okay, Violet Lotus, basically you wanted to know about a suitcase.
They wrote about it again.
Oh, okay. You did. There it is. That you need to heal and release in order to heal and be free of that and fully live in this life. This is from her previous existence as a Hadarian, just to make it clear so you understand.
All right. Well, you're going to use your deck, right?
Okay, I am.
Karen, you take care. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Always love and light. Okay.
Hey, baby. What's up?
I have this feeling about these cards, Violet. I just want to see if it bears out. All right.
And away he goes.
Bye, Sonny. He
Bye,
must know the
Sonny.
show is almost over. And an hour late again. Uh-oh.
Who's counting? This is what we live on. Unless we're really tired.
Well, we need some food once in a while to live on too, and water. I knew it! No, I didn't know this card, but somehow I knew a pentacle would be in the mix. Unfortunately, it's the Five of Pentacles, which is interesting. We'll talk about that. And then there is the Two of Wands.
Oh.
Upright. They're all upright, and it's interesting. Look what's come up in this reading. The Eight of Wands, which Mr. O had in the previous reading. This is upright.
Vroom.
Vroom is right. So what's in that suitcase?
Oh, dear.
I think this is what's in that suitcase, that Five of Pentacles, you know? And it is ironic. I was expecting to see a little bit more pentacle action here, Violet, because of what you had mentioned in the DM to me, the grounding, the earth energy. But the Five of Pentacles definitely means here that what's in the suitcase is maybe a lot of pain or lack that you experienced in this past life. There was something that was missing. There was something, and maybe it was also because maybe you were not as healthy in that past life. It's possible there was some issues related to health and well-being that you needed to, that you maybe are carrying with you now. There's something about lack, and just, it's something that you have to let go of, all this need to always, or this feeling that you're always lacking something. Maybe that is what is in this suitcase. And it is saying here, so what do you need to do is you need to just forge ahead with your goals and your plans in this life. Do not allow this to interfere with it. And also, I'm wondering here if the way to eliminate what's in the suitcase may have to do with that Eight of Wands. There is just some energy that needs to still be maybe moved.
Okay, thank you. I feel like this suitcase, and I don't know, is this like... I knew he was going to do that.
Oh my gosh, you jumped from there?
Yeah. That's a great way to get attention. And you know what? I'm proud of you because you didn't knock a single thing over. Yay, Sunman.
Sonny jumps in at the right moment in a deep reading. Go on.
That was pretty naughty. But
yes.
You know what, Violet? I don't know if this is a metaphoric suitcase or if this is a suitcase that exists astrally somehow, but I feel whatever it contains is a mixture of some good memories and some bad memories, and so it presents a dichotomy to you because you're not really sure if you can use all of it without being tainted a little bit by the bad stuff, or vice versa. You can't really separate some of the bad things from the good things because of the circumstances of that life as it unfolded.
So basically, you're looking at all of these as a suitcase. That's okay.
Mostly, I'm
Okay.
mostly looking at these two. I do feel like what you said, though, that breaking the chain or flowing through the suitcase somehow needs to have a definitive, direct action towards it. Maybe it's a visual, mental form of vanishing the material. I just sort of feel like maybe there are things in there you could want, but it's probably not worth the choice or worth the price, because you would have to be forced to embrace all of it. Even if you don't use them, they're going to be there kind of tearing away at you a little bit.
Well, I almost wonder too, if I looked at this as all being the suitcase, I would have to say that, you have the ability, well, I want to say it again, that really you came here into this life with a lot of possibilities, that you could attain. And this suitcase is what really is maybe been the problem all along. I really think it is. It's almost as if, the other thing about this Five of Pentacles to me is that sometimes, it talks about that being the outsider, were you considered, I don't know, you probably know this life better than I from doing, your own deep work. But did you feel like maybe you were not outcast so much, but like a bit of an outsider, in this group, that you didn't fit in, and it was always kind of problematic? And so I almost feel as though that's what needs to be addressed here. This idea too that you need to move that energy away in this life.
Is it some point in this past life that this idea of what this suitcase was presented in your life and you accepted it, and that's why it hangs there, because it's sort of like a vow to either do something with it or to get rid of it, vanquish it in this life? Maybe it has to actually move on to somebody else. Maybe that's part of it, is it needs to move somewhere else.
Well, what's ironic to me here in all of this is you ask what you need to do to be, to be more a part of this world. And here we have the guy with the world in his hands, for crying out loud. So I almost feel here that, you just need to really more focus yourself away from the experiences of this life. Move that energy on so that you can focus on the here and now more, This is a part of who you were, but it does not have to define where you are today.
Lenormand?
All our lives are just fragments of who we are anyway. For all of us who believe we've been somewhere multiple times, we've been around the block. These are just fragments, and they don't have to define what's going on in the present.
The coffin.
Wow.
The tower. And of course, that's not Tarot's tower.
Right. So what do you think of that, Mr. O?
Well,
Maybe.
I sort of was wanting to put it in a different context that, see, I don't know how this relates to an institution in your life so much as maybe
Remember, it's about loneliness, isolation.
the metaphoric concept of it. And that until you resolve this, it's really going to just continue to bring grief to you, I think.
Well, a coffin isn't necessarily about grief so much to me as it is about endings.
Oh,
we have the
right.
cross for
I'm sorry,
grief.
the cross is more grief. I'm sorry.
That's okay, but I can almost see why you'd say that, because it feels lonely. It's possible too here that maybe, this idea too, Violet, that you were an outsider or felt different, or maybe that you weren't treated the right way in that life makes you feel that way in this life, that you kind of wall yourself off. And I feel like this has to come to an end, that this is maybe something that has to come to an end. You have to come out of isolation, come out of whatever shell you are in, and really confront this.
Well, isn't it the entire concept of what the suitcase might mean is that it's really things that need to be dispersed somehow, that need to be emptied so that they're not there hanging there. They need to go back into the compartments or areas of your current life where they best suit or not.
It is ironic we pulled the coffin, something that you would open like a suitcase, And so it really has to come to an end. Or this feeling that you, that you are in a different place in this world. You have to be more of this world. I really think that's what this is saying.
And that's why the person's
it's reinforcing this, that has to come to an end. You keep floating back to this tower, or to this suitcase, and you really do have to dispel it. I don't know if it's really giving us the keys to doing this right now.
The tower could be the Lenormand way of saying the suitcase, because the suitcase is
either one of these.
Either one of those, I guess. But
yeah.
I sort of feel like it crosses that way too.
It's kind of interesting. I really feel here this is saying you have to energetically work on this problem.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's an energy thing of some sort.
And it's something that needs a direct action. It can't be, spread out over time necessarily. It needs to be confronted.
I think that's all I can see right now. You may have to do some more readings on this to try to get to the bottom of what you need to do here. But it involves energy work, I think. Well, I hope we didn't muddle things up more for you. But I thought it was really interesting. And I definitely see some corollaries here between that tower and that. And also just this idea of, this guy has the world in his hands. You want to be a part of this world. Well, then you got to make plans and do things that only involve this world and putting that other one behind you. But if there are some talents and skills and abilities that have come to you through this existence, by all means use them. But you have to let the culture, you have to let whatever happened to you in this past life not box you in. And that's I guess the best way I can put it, I guess. So what we have for you. Good luck with that. We're done.
We're
done at 5:02. Oh my gosh.
5:02, a whole hour.
And guess what? Again, we have had absolutely no downtime.
Woo-hoo.
We're almost going in a full week, almost, with no
and that means
downtime.
in our personal lives too, because we would occasionally lose the internet when we're just doing whatever.
We haven't done anything different.
You're very welcome.
And I don't know that our what should I say, our internet provider service has done anything different either. So it's totally a mystery. Maybe it was Mercury retrograde all along. I don't know. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for hanging with us today. It's been a fun show. It's been a long show. And we hope everybody got something out of their readings. We know some of them were not very happy ones. So hang in there, everybody. Take care. It's only a snapshot in time. Hopefully the energies will shift and we'll have better readings to come. All right. Have a great time, week ahead. And hopefully we'll see you on... Hey, is October 5th Thursday?
No, October 5th is actually Wednesday.
Dang. October 5th is our 46th anniversary of our first date. So maybe we'll be celebrating that on Thursday. All right, everybody, take care.
I'm happy. So many people stayed to the end. That's really
I know.
wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.